I'm Austin Prey, Senior Reporter here at Payments. Joining me today is Adam Gray, the Chief Transformation Officer at Stax. Thanks for joining us today, Adam.
Thanks, Austin. Excited to be with you.
Yeah, and it's an exciting topic today. We're here to talk about the challenges ISVs have when meeting diverse merchant needs with payments, as well as the opportunities. Kind of diving right into that topic, from your perspective and from Stax's perspective, how can independent software vendors or ISVs effectively balance providing customer value with achieving business growth when it comes to integrating payment solutions?
Yeah, it's a unique challenge in today's world where, these software companies are under a lot of pressure from their investors to find new revenue streams and find that growth, but still meet the needs of their customers and keep that front and centric. And payments is an interesting way to adopt towards that. We've seen data from 2022 that revenue is decreasing for public software companies. It's come down from 22% to 13% on average. And so they have to go find new revenue streams. The reason we like payments, and I think there's a lot of interest in embedded payments, is there's this growing demand from ISVs customers to bring that closer to their experience. The reason they're meeting so many of the needs of their customers today is they're specializing. We're seeing a lot of verticalizations where they specialize as a software company by meeting all of their needs, whether it's a CRM or ERP, and bringing all this together. Well, payments is a key part of that ecosystem. And the beauty of it is it creates a new revenue stream for both the partner while meeting that customer experience need.
Totally. And there's a lot of options out there, and ISVs must decide on the best approach for handling payments. What are some alternative approaches, beside the traditional payback model that ISVs can use to handle payments? And from your perspective, what are some of the benefits and drawbacks of these alternatives?
Yeah, I think PayFac has been growing in popularity the last decade, but we're starting to see software companies are different points in their journey, right? Their payments knowledge and experience. And so what they really need is a payment solution and a partner that can help them on that journey. And then what we like to do is, provide a partner that can grow with them on that journey. So that can be everything from finding niches of payment services that are specialized and really apply to them. When I think about field services, they have a thin margin. And so things like surcharging become very relevant to them, where they have to find ways to meet that need and provide their merchants ways to capture more of the payment without losing that cost. Another interesting vertical where softwares really support them is legal and professional services. Some of the complexities that come with that come with trust and operating accounts. And so, if you go full payback or just embedded payments, it might not meet the needs of your customers, and you're kind of drifting from the specialization you brought to your customers. And so finding a payments provider that can offer the niches of software services you need is really critical in today's world.
Well, and I love that kind of call out of meeting the needs of your customers, because it's a broad market. Merchants have diverse needs. When it comes to delivering value kind of within those niches, how do you see ISVs and payment providers? Is there a role for collaboration when it comes to delivering value to small and medium businesses? And what's the impact that solutions like omnichannel offerings, flexible pricing models, advanced reporting, and even compliant, surcharging programs, how can these add value?
Yeah, I think it's a complex question that you really have to come along them in their journey. And so, the key is not to just tell them how to do payments, but to understand what their needs are. And the baseline of that is a single stream integration. So most ISVs we see, they want one way to connect to their payment provider. So they can still have a little build control, but then they need that guidance and knowledge to say, how do we stay compliant? Payments is a complicated space with a lot of compliance, especially in surcharging. How do we stay secure? We hear over and over about fraud protection, things like this. This is where finding a partner in payments that can bring those expertise and come alongside you while you focus on what your customer and industry needs, but then you're leveraging that knowledge to apply it to your platform so you're providing a secure and compliant, environment. I think surcharging is probably, you mentioned it, it's my favorite example of that because everybody's afraid of it. It's hard because it's very compliant. There's state regulations, card brand regulations, and I think the market is starting to accept it. And today it's starting to get embraced here in the US, but a lot of the payback models are afraid because you need a lot of knowledge to make sure you're compliant with that. So that's where someone like Stax is able to come alongside and really deliver that. The other key piece is people. In the transformation role, I've really anchored my career around it's technology and people that make things special. And I think that resonates with a lot of the SaaS companies that are out there. And you can have the best technology in the world, but if you don't have the people to come answer your questions, help design it, and drive that expertise, then you're not going to get there. And that's actually what brought me to Stax a few years ago is our DNA is operating differently. And part of that is giving a diverse group of voices together. So, the last few years, we've really combined people from the payments industry, everything from merchant services, gateway knowledge, all the way to card brand certifications, along with people not from the industry. So that, like myself, that come from other fintech backgrounds and SaaS companies, or they come from hospitality and understand customer service. And it's really unique to see how you bring all those together to give the people element to the ISVs, and it resonates with them because that's what they're doing for their customers, and we try and replicate that for them.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that response. I mean, the kind of balancing the high tech and the high touch it's only going to get more important as both the tech just as things become more sophisticated and impactful across this landscape. And we've been talking about a lot of the benefits here. Kind of, what are some of the key challenges that ISVs face when integrating and optimizing their embedded payment solutions? What from Stax's perspective, kind of having worked through a lot of these challenges, kind of how can they be overcome?
Yeah, I think we spent a lot of time. I was just touching a lot on technology, right? So getting implemented, getting the technology stood up. But then there's the whole element for their merchants on how to adopt, how to navigate the application process, how to, embrace these omni-channel payment channels that they need, whether it's mobile. And so that is actually the biggest challenge we find a lot of payments companies ISVs come to us with is we've got this technology embedded. We know how we want to present our checkout to our customer. How do we get our merchants, through the application process or get them to engage in this new revenue stream with us? Because you can build the best technology, have a new revenue stream, but if you don't get the adoption, it doesn't meet the need of your customer or the ISV. So we've actually seen a lot of success investing the last year on coming along what we call Stax Connect Plus, where we're actually picking up on that journey where customers might not be ready to own that part, and we can come alongside them and help with the sales motion, with the marketing motion. We actually had a partner named Fishbowl that had incredible success this last year and have increased 36% of the merchants that they've boarded just from having us bring that expertise under their brand to go straight to their merchants and drive that motion. That's back to that expertise that, it takes specialty of knowledge to know how to drive that engagement on the payment side. And we're glad to help them. And I think that's the demand we're going to see more and more in the industry of the partners people choose.
Awesome. And kind of one of the themes that's been resonating throughout this conversation is the impact of a flexible approach to payment solutions. And from your perspective, kind of in what ways can ISVs adapt their strategies at different stages of the payment journey, to ensure that they are meeting the diverse needs of these merchants as the market changes, evolves, matures, even pivots or forks?
Yeah, I think things like omni-channel that we've touched on and you hear a lot in the industry is mobile checkout's huge, digital wallet. The new generations are demanding more. There was an HST report that 62% of millennials book all of their travel via their phone. And so there's a demand from all consumers. And as they move into management roles for B2B, that is just propagating to all types of payments industries. And so it's going to be key to know that you have flexibility on pricing terms and technology to bring the payments checkout method to them in a way that meets them where they want to be. And I think field service is an industry we specifically serve where I think this really plays out, right? They're out in the field having to support them. So how to have a mobile technology that's a customer experience that's easy to use, adopt those payments, collect the methods, and get the money to the partners as soon as possible.
Awesome. And we're nearing the end of my questions, but we still have some time here, Adam. Is there anything else you'd like to add, just kind of about the great work Stax is doing, about kind of exactly what we've been talking about, balancing integration while ensuring growth?
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time talking about the ISVs. I want to touch on, I'm excited about what we're doing to meet their future demands. So as we've addressed those challenges the last few years, we find, payments is complex. And what we own, we're able to solve, meet their needs. I'm excited that we're investing more and more into our technology stack to go end to end so that we can really take whatever solutions they need, whether it's new data sources or new ways to operate, and bring that all the way to those pain points that the ISVs and customers are bringing us so we don't run into barriers. And I think that's going to really be an exciting time in the industry as others look to break the traditional payments model of like, this is how you should do it, hear from the ISVs how they want to do it, and have the ability to solve around those. And that's what we're trying to unlock. And I know we're going to be sharing more as we go as a company this year, but I'm really excited about bringing those forward. And just a teaser on those is things like interchange analysis. You know, that's a very heavy payments concept that ISVs might not want to dig deeply into, but to have a payments partner that's not just understanding how interchange works for you, but finding ways to optimize it and bring it all the way back to your customer merchant. So you're actually generating more revenue. They're lowering their costs. Those are what I call the Easter eggs. That's what gets me excited because, you know, as a kid, you're running along, you're going after the next big Easter egg. But if you slow down and find these hidden gems, that's where the innovation's happening. And I think that's where I'm excited about 2025 for Stax and for the industry.
Awesome. I love that response. And I love the promise of these future Easter eggs. And it's a great note to end on. Adam, thank you so much for your time today.
Austin, I really appreciate the time and I really appreciate what payments.com is doing about bringing these topics and important things forward to the industry. I know it's a great source for people in our industry and for ISVs to go look for this information. So looking forward to partnering with you in the future.